Hi there. So my name is Ahab. I am the part of the team who is going to take care of the case context and the objectives.
Hello, my name is Wasi. I'm gonna take part for the financial analysis and NPDB model structure.
Hi, I'm Hiroki. I'm going to take part of the strategic business plan.
Right, so starting from the agenda, we have our goals, options, financial analysis, the NPVs, and then why we chose option A, the foraging part, and of course our business plan. Going on with the case context and the objectives, we mainly focused on the profitability, the immediate payback period, and the positive NPV, which was at a 10% discount rate. And so our objective was to build a financial sustainable business model that can effectively grow and scale within time with our capital constraints that we have to take care of. Now, going on with the financial verdict, Wase will take over.
Hello, I'm Wase, and why did we choose option A? So we chose option A because of our calculations. We went through a different calculations, and for option A, we chose three scenarios like the base case, worst case, and the best case. And comparing it to the base case, worst case, and best case of the kitchen scenario, we found out we have a positive NPV for the foraging scenario, and that is $165 to $210,000 at a 10% discount rate for 5 years. And the payback period is like a month, and for the restaurant, the payback period is like 5 to 6 years. So, so we choose option A, foraging education, and then we went through the cash flow system in which we have a payback. I already told you it's for a month, and the NPV analysis. We also did the sensitivity analysis for that, and revenues for that. That's a $70,000 annual cash flow approximately. I will just go through the NPV assumption. This is the discount rate, initial investment. There was like an initial investment 5,000 and annual cash flows for that. So for the NPV formula and discounting, I would just go through this one. So over here, NPV inputs by scenario. So these were the student harvest value for all the seasons, like the spring, summer, and fall. And these were for the worst. This is for the worst case. This is the best base case. This is the best case. And Livax harvest on students for the spring, summer, and fall. This was the harvest 1/3 share of the students' harvest values for the base case, worst case, base case, and the best case. And it's his own harvest which he used to do apart from the students' time for the spring, spring, summer, and fall. This was that one for the worst, best case. And this is the unprocessed harvest value plus revenue for those three cases. And the cost that we were getting for the worst, base, and best case education cost, there was an education cost like 5,400. Fixed cost, which was about the transportation and supplies for all those cases, were the same. So processing market value after going through like the spring, summer, and fall, which were given in the percentage in the PDF file, we went through that and we took out the processing market value for these cases like 21,728, 26,840, 3,340, and processing costs. These were the processing costs, right? So we also find out the NPV values for all the three cases, and for these cases which were coming around like 90,000, 87, 85,000, and 670,000 roughly, which was showing we don't need any initial investment for these cases. We just need to go through some supplies and stuff, and that was an education program compared to the kitchen program, which required a heavy investment. And in that program, we have to go through a lot of financing and outside debt, which we have to cover for 4 or 5 years. I will just go through this one. Net present value, 10% discount rate, long-term value, NPV projection, which is like 188K, and from short-term reality compared to first year cash flows. Compared to this is the kitchen model, this is the education model. Here you go. This is the long-term analysis in which is fixed cost, market value, processing market value, which we found out through the PDF file and went through all the calculations and processing costs, total expense, and EBIT, earning before income and taxes. And we found out the NPV, 278,000 for 5 years, 345,000 for 5 years, worst, base, and best case. And we also compare these values with the kitchen scenario. So these cases were much better than the kitchen scenario. Over here, this is the cash flow trajectory and break-even point for the scenarios. Here you can see like 40,000, 400,000 for the cash flows for the years. So this is the operational strategy in which spring fall balances have like balanced fresh sales of 40% with processing 50% and 80% of harvest allocated for summers. And we also like utilize our summers production, like because we have like 50% in the fall and 50% in the spring and 80% in the summers. So we are utilizing our 50% in the summers and 30% allocated for the winters. This is the cash flow strategy over here. This is the payback period, right? 5 years to 5.66 years. Option A, immediate payback, like a month. You don't need an initial investment. And option B, 5.3 to 5.7 years. We did the sensitivity analysis for these ones. Base case annual cash flows, worst case revenue 20%, and the verdict risk level extremely low, right? And it could go to, for this one, option A, foraging, it could go to 1 month, and option B, restaurant, it could go to highly, like 6 to 8 years approximately, right? So now I'm gonna give it to Hiroko.
Hi, my name is Hiro. Based on the financial analysis, we confidently recommended option A, and our recommendation is the integrated foraging and zero-wasted model. The core concept here is hybrid service and product. In the summer, we focus on high-margin workshop to generate immediate cash. Simultaneously, we process the harvest to build inventory. This allows us to monetize 100% of what we pick and completely eliminates the risk of seasonality that plagues traditional restaurants. And to exceed our financial target, we have established 3 revenue pillars. Pillar A is experiential learning. This is our cash cow. Turfy will cover all operational expenses. Pillar B is seeds goods. We turn summer berries into jams and dried mushrooms to sell during the winter. This secures year-round income. Pillar C is B2B fresh supply. This is direct sales to restaurants. It has 0 processing costs, turning excess harvest directly into the profit. And this is the operations flow, and this is the execution plan. And finally, there's risks. We have managed the risks. For operational risk, like bad weather, we mitigate this by maintaining an inventory buffer and diversifying for foraging locations. For regulatory risks, we secure all necessary food safety permits in Q1. By choosing this lowest model, Levi can achieve his dream of cultural recognition with financial risks.
Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. And that's how we were able to present the PowerPoint presentation style and professionalism was done by me. The knowledge case and the strategic recommendations were done by Wase, and the creativity was done by Hiroki. Thank you so much for your time. And Liam couldn't join us today because of his private reasons, but hopefully in the finals you will be able to see him. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Submit it.